What is up? What's good? What's going on? How you doing? How you been? I hope you're doing well. I hope that none of you got into any accidents. The roads are really bad. As soon as I heard that this storm was coming in, I grabbed a load going to Florida. And I've been in Florida during this whole storm. So, yeah. I'm about to leave Florida. The weather is starting to clear up. I just got a load that's going from Palatka, Florida to Longview, Texas. And I'm still in Vero Beach, so I'm going to have to drive like 180 miles up to Palatka, about 3 hours. Grab a load out of Georgia Pacific, probably some toilet paper. And then I'm going to drive across the I-10 to Lafayette, Louisiana, and then take the 49 up to the 20, and then the 20 over to Longview. The roads are still really bad right now. This is the Shreveport News. They're saying that the roads are really bad. They're saying that I-20 is barely passable. Here's what it is. Once again, stay off the roads. It's not safe and not worth the risk. The precipitation that fell earlier this week remains packed down, creating a dangerous, thick sheet of ice. Portions of I-20 are barely passable. Imagine a skating rink covered with chunks of ice. So it's like a skating rink covered with chunks of ice is what I-20 is like, according to the news in Shreveport, Louisiana. So, yeah, I hope that any of you that chose to get out and drive in this shit didn't get in any accidents. Me, personally, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. Number one, what's the point in just sitting on the side of the fucking road? I-10 and I-20 and I-40 have all been closed. Every time I've looked at taking a load for the last couple of days, and I checked the route that I was taking, and you go into Google and map it out, and there's just road closures all across I-10 and I-40 and I-20. You couldn't drive across it if you wanted to, thankfully, because there's probably a lot of dumbasses that would try. But, so yeah, there's really no point in even attempting to drive across these places when the roads are closed. Now the roads are starting to open up. There's tons of accidents. The roads are still really bad in a lot of these areas. But temperatures are supposed to get above freezing today and tomorrow. And I'm hoping that by the time that I get up here to I-20, it's going to be above freezing long enough that it will have dried up and the road will be clear. So yeah, I'm about to drive 3 hours up to Palatka. It's 5:30 p.m. local time here in Vero Beach. And I'm going to wait till about 7 p.m. to drive up there. And I'll get up there about 10 p.m. And my load is not scheduled to pick up until after 11 a.m. tomorrow. So it'll give me enough time to take a 10-hour break and have my full drive shift available to take off once I pick the load up. But yeah, aside from, the roads being closed, it's just not worth it. Like the amount of money that you would make in a day or two. Imagine if you got into an accident. Just weigh it out here. 1 or 2 days of driving and normal income. They're not paying you like some kind of ridiculous amount of money to drive on this shit. You're getting paid the exact same as, yesterday. So yeah, normal 2 paydays, or potentially get into an accident. Yeah, hey, there's always a possibility that you make it through there accident free. But the potential things that could happen, the negatives, you could get into an accident. What are the outcomes of the accident? Well, you could become unemployable. Well, you could maybe get fired from your current employee or your current employer. Maybe you don't get fired from your current employer. It just goes against your record. Well, that makes it harder to get on somewhere else. So if you're working for a shitty employer that is not going to fire you over having this accident on your record, then your plans of getting away from that shitty employer just change. Now you're stuck with that shitty employer for 1 to 3 years until that falls off of your driving record. If you get fired from that shitty employer, or maybe it's a good employer you get fired from, now you have to work for a shitty employer for 1 to 3 years. If it's bad enough of an accident, you may become unemployable or uninsurable for 1 to 3 years. And many people can't recover from that. That may be the end of trucking for you. You have to go find another profession, and then in 3 years or whatever, maybe you try to come back. But the thing is, if you're gone for 3 years, if you decide to come back, you're probably going to have to go through CDL school again, and you're going to have the equivalent of 0 experience. You're going to be a student driver when you come back if you haven't driven in over 3 years. So, yeah, there's just too many potential negatives, and the positives don't like measure up very well with the negatives of driving in really bad conditions like that. So, and as an owner operator, like, man, I could like go hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt if I get into an accident, because I'm fully on the hook for everything. I could lose my truck, insurance may not pay for it. I could have to pay for all kinds of stuff. Who knows what I'd have to pay for? It could get really bad. So yeah, I chose to just hang out here in Vero Beach. I really kind of wish I would have driven further north, but now I'm glad that I didn't, because I found a load in Palatka. I was planning on driving up to like Lake City or Jacksonville, and I would have had to drive back south. I would have wasted probably 120 miles of driving, because I would have driven probably 60 miles past Palatka and had to drive 60 miles back the other direction to get to it. But yeah, we got this load going to Longview. It doesn't pay very well. It's $1,462.92. I get 65% of that. It's a breakthrough fuel surcharge. That really shitty fuel surcharge where the shippers just try to not pay fuel surcharge. I haven't heard anything back from Landstar this week. They haven't contacted me at all this week. I think that I got a message on Monday saying that I was assigned a different recruiter, but that's it. They're just doing their background investigation. I haven't heard anything from them all week long. So we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully I'll get an update. That'll be like week 2. And if it's 3 to 4 weeks to get somebody qualified, then I suspect that all of the background portion of it only takes like 2 weeks, because part of their qualification process is to inspect the truck, and what else is there? Drug test. I can't remember everything, but a whole bunch of stuff is part of your qualification. I thought the qualification was just background check, verify employment, stuff like that, but no. The qualification includes vehicle inspection and drug test. I thought all that would happen in orientation. So we'll see. I might be working for Landstar here before long. I hope, at least. USA Trucks load board sucks. Let's refresh this Longview. Looking for a backhaul. Come on, Internet, you can do it. Or not. While that's doing that, let's check back over here. And let's just check Lake City. No, let's do Orlando. Orlando, Florida. And let's look for, yeah, anything over $1,200. It would be really difficult for me to cancel this load, but we'll check and see if there's anything like way better. So Tampa, that's closer to me, maybe, but it's going to Baltimore. Screw that crap. And then all the rest of these are Aglochny, Georgia, going up into the northeast, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. That's a bunch of crap loads going deep into the northeast. I don't want to mess with that crap. So yeah, the load that I have is better than all this crap. It doesn't pay quite as well, but it's better. Did this one ever refresh? Alright, Longview. So, Port Allen, Louisiana, going to Glendale, West Virginia. Not sure I want to mess with that crap. That's like a 300-mile deadhead. It's Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 291.9-mile deadhead. Not worth it. So I'll wait and just see if there are better loads posted tomorrow. And I don't know what the weather is going to be like next week. The weather.gov only goes out 3 days. So we'll have to wait and see. I hope another storm doesn't come in and I get stuck in North Texas. That would not be very fun. Fuel prices are still astronomical. It's crazy. I'm paying like $2.60, $2.70 a gallon with discounts. So fuel prices are like $3.10, $3.20, $3.30 a gallon. And I'm getting 30, 40, 50, 60 cents a gallon discounts and still paying like $2.60 a gallon. Man, fuel prices are really, really high. They've just been going up like crazy since the election. I don't know if there's like a real reason behind it or if it's just fear about the Democrats being in power because they're so like anti-fossil fuel. But fuel has gone up like crazy since November. But that's it. That's all that's going on with me. That's 12 minutes. Oh my goodness, it's a nice short video. That's about it for me. Just if you're out there, be safe, make good decisions. Don't put your life at risk or your career at risk over a load. Just because you see the super truckers doing it doesn't mean that you have to do it. The super truckers just don't know any better. The super truckers are the dumbasses going 70 in the left lane while everybody else is going 20 in snow-covered roads. They're the dumbasses at the truck stop bitching about everybody going so slow on these snowy and icy roads. They're like, yeah, well, I'm from Canada, or I'm from Minnesota, or I'm from wherever the fuck up north. So I know how to drive on these snow-covered roads. All these dumbasses don't know how to drive on this shit. Well, if you're going 60, 70 miles an hour on snow and ice-covered roads, apparently you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So, yeah, don't listen to the dumbass super truckers, the loudmouths at the truck stops. They're the worst ones to get advice from. And don't be pressured by them to do stupid shit. A lot of these people that you see out here driving on these shitty roads, they're either super truckers, they're know-it-all dumbasses, or they are in some kind of fucked up position where they don't have a choice, or they feel that they don't have a choice. Like they're a brand new driver and they don't know any better. They don't like their dispatcher, driver manager is telling them, go ahead and drive over here, and they're afraid to tell them that they don't think it's safe. Or they tell their dispatcher, driver manager that they don't think it's safe, and they laugh at them. And it just intimidates them, and they just are like, all right, well, I'll just go then. I mean, that's what a lot of these people are. They're in situations where they have a bad driving record or something. If they lose this job, then they're screwed. Maybe they have a lot of lates. They've been late a lot, and they're going to be late again because of this weather, and they can't afford to be late. So they're just going to press on. You know, there's everybody's got their own little situation that they're in. They've all got their own little reasons for doing what they're doing. But don't do anything dangerous that puts your life or your career at risk. Be safe out there, and that's about it for me. I've got like an hour, maybe 2 hours before I leave here. And so I'm going to watch a movie or some YouTube videos or something over the next hour or two. It's finally nice and cold here. I might turn the truck off and turn the APU on for the next hour. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.